Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba read-through. We are going to be reading through chapters 44 through 52, which makes up all of Volume 6, gotta correct this time, of the series. Last we left off, all of the Spider Family members were all killed. They were all taken out, with the appearance of Shinobu and Giyu. So now we get to see what happens afterwards, because at the last bit of in the last chapter, it showed Shinobu trying to attack Giyu, or more likely Nezuko, with Giyu standing in between Shinobu and Tanjiro and Nezuko, standing in between the both, standing in the midst of them. So now we get to see what happens, because Shinobu says, this is the reason why everyone hates you. What are you doing protecting them? So now we get to see what happens. So starting with chapter 44, Against Core Rules. And in this first page, before we get started, it shows that Zenitsu has been completely tied up, along with all the spider babies that were there. And he's just thinking to himself, I'm all wrapped up. And there's a note on them that says, and there's labels on all of them that says, treatment complete. What does that mean? Don't know. But let's see what happens. And we have Shinobu. Well, no, that's not even Shinobu. That's not Shinobu. That's someone else completely different. The face looks similar, but it's not Shinobu. Her hair is tied off to the side, where Shinobu's hair was tied up in like a ornate, like very decorative bun. But here is another, apparently, member of the Demon Slayer Corps with two other side guards with her. And Zenitsu saw, who are these people? Huh? They're really cleaning up quickly. And she's just directing everyone, and there's a bunch of them around, and some of them are carrying like the spider babies with them. And then she's saying, and then Zenitsu thinks, and wasn't that girl at my final selection? She has the same hairpin as the girl who wrapped us up. Okay, so Shinobu was the one who wrapped up Zenitsu and the spider babies, and this other one has the same hairpin, but her hairstyle is different. So maybe they're related. So one of the guards says, do they go to Butterfly Mansion too? And she says, yes, take the wounded to my place. I'll take care of any demons nearby so you can work without fear. And then, we still got Inosuke still hanging up in a tree. And one of the guards says, what's this? Don't know. And then we have Shinobu facing down against, standing in the place of Giyu right now. Now move, Tomioka. Then she's pointing her sword at him. Then he says, why did you say that everyone hates me? And this sort of kind of flares up with Tanjiro and Shinobu, and she says, oh dear, I guess you never realized that people hated you. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. My apologies. And then this sort of hits it sort of hits a note with Giyu. And then he says, boy. And then Tanjiro says, yes? And he doesn't say anything afterwards, but then Shinobu says, you're lying on top of a demon. That's dangerous, so get out of the way, and... No, you got it all wrong. Well, not wrong, but, she's my little sister, and... Oh? Is that so? How sad. In that case, I'll use a gentle poison to kill her so she won't suffer. And Shinobu doesn't know the whole deal that's going on with Tanjiro and Nezuko and Tamayo and everyone else. She just sees a demon right in front of her, and she just wants to kill it. And Tanjiro is speechless. Then Giyu says, can you move? Even if you're hurt, gather yourself up and get going. Take your sister and flee. Then Tanjiro says, Tomioka! I'm sorry. Thank you. Then Shinobu says, you know, this is against core rules. And Giyu doesn't say anything. Then we see Tanjiro run up on the special box that's made for Nezuko to be inside. He immediately picks it up and starts taking off, still holding Nezuko in his arms. Ugh, my whole body hurts. The pain. I want to scream, but I must keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And then Nezuko is looking at her brother, and someone is above him. Will I have to leave the Demon Slayer Corps? They won't accept a swordsman who travels with a demon, and my sister is a demon. And apparently, the girl that was around Zenitsu doing the cleanup duty, she starts to land right on top. She lands right on top of Tanjiro and slams him into the ground while he's carrying Nezuko in the box. Ah, no! It took all I had just to run! Then it shows this core woman preparing to cut down Nezuko. And before she can, she misses because Tanjiro pulls on her cloak and yanks her back, narrowly missing Nezuko's head. Run, Nezuko, run! And before he can say anything else, the girl slams her heel on Tanjiro's head and kind of knocks him out. And Nezuko just starts running. And then it shows the girl right behind Nezuko as she prepares to swing her sword. And as the sword reaches her, Nezuko shrinks down to like a toddler size and dodges the slash. She turned into a small child, and then Nezuko just starts running away from her in her chibi state. She's just running, not attacking at all. Why? Don't think about it. Just kill demons like I was taught. And then it looks like Shinobu speaking again, saying, I'm chasing down a demon to kill it. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, it's Shinobu, and apparently Giyu has her in a headlock. But what you're doing is against the rules. You're interfering with the slaying of a demon. Explain yourself. And then Giyu doesn't say anything. And then she says, as she has her sword in his direction, but narrowly luckily it's not hurting him or anything. But then she says, how about just saying something? And then we see apparently there are two crows just, on a branch. Then he says, I think it was 2 years ago. Oh no, is this going to be one of your long rambling stories? Are you trying to bore me, or are you just getting back at me because I said people hate you? And it sort of annoys Giyu, as apparently he grips her even harder, but then apparently she has a knife in the heel of her shoe, and before she pulls her heel back to, stab him, one of their crows goes, Message! 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 Take Tanjiro and Nezuko into custody and bring them back to headquarters. And this surprises both Giyu and Shinobu. Capture Tanjiro and the demon Nezuko. Capture them and return to headquarters. Tanjiro has a scar in his forehead. The demon Nezuko has a bamboo gag. And right as we see this girl in front of Nezuko, who she has up against a tree, she then looks at Nezuko and says, Are you Nezuko? He has a scar on his forehead. Good. Secure him. And then we have one of the guards speaking, saying, Look, is his jaw broken? I hate to tie him up. These agents are called the Kakushi, or Kakshi. They clean up after the Demon Slayer Corps battle demons. Most members of this group lack any sword skills. And then we cut to another scene where Tanjiro's laying down. Get up. Get up. Get up. Hey, you. Hey, how long are you gonna sleep? Get up already, would ya? And apparently we see more members of the Demon Slayer Corps. You're in the presence of the Hashira. Wow, there's one dude who has his hands in a prayer position. And with some prayer beads, this dude is huge. I wonder who he is. But that is the end of chapter 44. Onwards to chapter 45. Chapter 45, Trial by Hashira. Hashira? What is the Hashira? What does that mean? Who are these people? Where am I? And then Shinobu speaks up. This is the Demon Slayer Corps headquarters, and you, Tanjiro Kamado, are about to be put on trial. The Hashira are the 9 Demon Slayer Corps members with the highest level of swordsmanship. Lower-ranked Corps members die incredibly quickly, but the Hashira are different. They provide stability to the Demon Slayer Corps. And we got someone speaking up, and we get all their names. There's no need for a trial. Protecting a demon is clearly against Corps rules. Let's just lop off his head along with the demons. Flame Hashira, Kyojuro, Rengoku. I'll cut off his head with style. Even the blood splashes will be panache. Really flashy flash. Sound Hashira, Tengen Uzui.
Killing such a cute kid pains me, it's too much.
Love Hashira, Mitsuri Kanroji. Ah, what pitiful children. How sad. It's a tragedy they were even born. Stone Hashira, Gyome Himejima. Those big fluffy clowns up there. What are they called? Mist Hashira, Muichiro Tokito. And then we have them all speaking. Let's kill them. Yes. Yeah. Yes. But with style. Nezuko! Where's Nezuko? Nezuko! Nezuko! Zenitsu! Inosuke! Murata! Forget about him. What are we going to do about Tomioka? And apparently someone's speaking in a tree right now. And Tanjiro looks up at them. Kocho says Tomioka broke Corps rules too. What shall we do about this? How shall he take responsibility? What price shall he pay? Right now, he's just wandering around freely, and that gives me a headache. Serpent Hashira, Iguro Obanai. And then we have Mitsuri thinking to herself, as usual, Iguro is as coolly menacing as a snake. He's reliable, which is nice. And then we have Giyu Tomioka, the water Hashira, who's just standing off to the side from everyone else.
Tomioka is all alone, keeping his distance. Adorable.
Then we have Shinobu, the insect Hashira.
We needn't worry about him. He came along without a fight. We can consider a suitable punishment later. I'm more interested in questioning the boy.
And then Tanjiro's thinking to himself, because of me, Tomioka is... And he tries to speak, but then he immediately starts coughing. Now, mind you, he's laying on his stomach this whole time, and he's leaning up in order to look up at everyone. Then Shinobu offers him some water.
Here, drink some water. Your jaws hurt, so drink slowly. Then you can talk. It contains a painkiller, so you'll feel better. Your wound hasn't healed, so don't overdo it.
And then Tanjiro starts speaking, saying, my sister was turned into a demon, but she hasn't eaten any human flesh. She hasn't and she won't. Nezuko will never hurt anyone. And then I immediately forgot this guy's name. Iguro. Then Iguro says, stop spewing such nonsense. I don't trust anything anyone says, and I especially don't trust you. She's your sister, of course you'll protect her. And I forgot the big man's name too. Gyome. Then Gyome says, oh, he's possessed by a demon. Hurry up and kill this child to set him free. And mind you, every time this guy speaks, he's constantly crying. But then Tanjiro says, please hear me out. I became a swordsman so I could protect Nezuko. It's more than 2 years since she became a demon. And all that time, she hasn't bitten anyone. Then the flashy Hashira, you know what? I'm just going to call them by their titles because I am literally not going to remember all their names every single time. I got enough Japanese names rummaging around in this brain of mine already. But then the flashy Hashira says, "This conversation is just spinning in circles. If she hasn't bitten anyone, and she isn't going to, just words. Show me. Impress me." And then we got the Miss Hashira just looking up at the clouds again. What bird is that? Is that a girl? Is that a girl? I don't want to misidentify them. What bird is that? Strangely enough, I can instantly remember Mitsuri's name already.
I'm not sure about this. The master of the mansion must be aware of this. So should we really handle it on our own? Shouldn't we wait until he gets back?
Then the rest of the Hashiras don't say anything. But Tanjiro says, "My sister has fought alongside me. She can fight for the Demon Slayer Corps and protect people. So..." Say, this is getting kinda interesting. No. And then everyone looks in that direction. And then one of the basic guards just says, Lord Shina's... let me read this. Shinazugawa. No, Lord Shinazugawa! Please put down the box! And then we got this crazy looking guy walking up with Nezuko's box in his hands. Is that idiotic Corps member who travels with a demon? Just what is going on here anyway? Wind Hashira, Sanemi, Shinazugawa. See, I'm just going to have to remember them by their titles because remembering every single one of their names, like Gomei, I can remember. Giyu and Shinobu and Mitsuri, I can remember, but everyone else, I'm going to have to look through their names again in order to fully remember them each time. But then Mitsuri is thinking to herself,
he has even more scars than before. How rugged.
Lady Kocho, we apologize.
Shinazugawa, don't do anything rash.
And then Mitsuri's right here just fawning over everyone.
Shinobu sounds angry. That's rare. How cool.
And then we have Shinazugawa saying, "What about this demon, boy? You say she can protect people and fight for the Corps? That's incredible. Amazing. Why, that's completely impossible, you fool." And he stabs into the box. He just stabs into the box. Is Nezuko in the box? But he stabs into the box. And this draws coarse looks from Giyu and Shinobu, and Mitsuri just looks on with her hand over her face. And then Tanjiro looks on as he sees the sword pierce through the box, and then he sees blood dripping from the box. So Nezuko is in there. And he stabs into her shoulder. And this gets Tanjiro mad and upset as he launches from where he was laying and launches at Shinazugawa. "I don't care if you're a Hashira or whatever. I won't let anyone hurt my sister." And I got hiccups. My apologies. Oh no. Good. Then Giyu says, "Stop! The master will be here soon." Then there's a jolt as we see Tanjiro launch towards Shinazugawa, missing, getting slashed at, and proceeds to headbutt him straight in the face, literally busting his nose. And they both fall over. And then Mitsuri laughs at this. And then she's all like, and then everyone is just looking at her like, really? And then she's all like,
sorry.
But then we got the Snake Hashira up there saying, "Tomioka's distraction helped, but it's still amazing he landed a blow on Shinazugawa." Then he looks down at Tanjiro, who is already next to Nezuko's box, and he has it in his hands. "If you can't tell the difference between a good demon and a bad demon, then you don't deserve to be a These hiccups are going to be something else for me. "Then you don't deserve to be a Hashira." Why, you... These hiccups. Why, you're dead. And then we have, I think, the little girl that was there at final selection. She says,
The master of the mansion has arrived.
and everybody just stops as he walks in. And we still don't see his face. We just see the bottom half as he says, Welcome, my dear demon slayers. And then Tanjiro looks at him. And we end the chapter right there. All y'all gonna leave me on a cliffhanger just like that. But that's the end of chapter 45, onwards to chapter 46. Chapter 46, Master of the Mansion. And we get a look at his face, and it has like a massive scar or burn mark or whatever over the top half of his face, but the bottom half is normal. Good morning, everyone. It feels like a beautiful day. The sky is a perfect blue, isn't it? It makes me very happy that we can have our twice-yearly Hashira meeting without any members having changed.
Is that the master of the mansion? Are those scars? No. Is he ill?
And before Tanjiro can really think about it, he gets knocked in the back of the head by Shinazugawa. And he pushes his head down into the ground.
I couldn't react at all. This guy is fast.
And then he looks on as he sees that all of the members of the Hashira all kneel before this master of the mansion. All of them. So I guess he pushed Tanjiro's head down, I guess in effect of saying, bow! You're in front of the master of the mansion. You're in front of the master of the Demon Slayer Corps. Master, I sincerely pray for your increased happiness. It is good to see you so healthy, Shinazugawa says. Thank you, Sanami. And then Mitsuri is thinking,
I wish I said that. I like to greet the master.
I'm sorry, but before the Hashira meeting, would you be so kind as to tell us about this core member who travels with a demon, Tanjiro Kamado? He didn't seem to have any manners before, but now he's being incredibly... And well, now this is Tanjiro thinking, he didn't seem to have any manners before, but now he's being incredibly polite. And then the master says, Yes, my apologies for surprising you. I have accepted Tanjiro and Nezuko, and I want everyone else to do the same. And all of the Hashira members respond with surprise from this. And then Gomei says,
Even though my master requests it, I cannot consent.
And then we have the flashy Hashira saying, I too must stylishly oppose. I cannot accept a core member consorting with a demon. And then Miss Mitsuri says,
I will do anything you say, master.
And then the Miss Hashira says, no matter what happens, I'll forget right away. And Shinobu doesn't say anything, nor does Giyu. Then the Snake Hashira says, I can't believe it. More than anything, I hate demons. Then we have the loud, brash one. I forgot his name. The Flame Hashira. See, I told you I would forget all of their names. The Flame Hashira says, Master, I respect you from the bottom of my heart, but I do not understand this. I am against it with all my strength. Then Shinazugawa obviously says, the Demon Slayer Corps kills demons. Please punish both Kamado and Tomioka. And then, as if he's not really paying attention to what his own members are saying, he says, the master says, well then, the letter. Then one of the little representatives, like the little girls that were there at final selection, one of them says,
Yes. This letter arrived from former Hashira Sakonji Uroko Daki. I will read a portion of it. Please forgive Tanjiro for being with his sister, who is a demon. Through strong spiritual strength, Nezuko maintains her human reason. Even when starving, she refuses to eat people. She has persisted in this way for more than 2 years. It is difficult to understand, but it is undeniably the truth. Should Nezuko ever attack someone together with Tanjiro Kamado, I, Sakonji Orokodaki, and Giyu Tomioka will make amends by slicing open our stomachs. So, not only did Urokodaki mention this, but apparently Giyu Tomioka agreed to this as well. So does Tomioka vouch
for them? And all the core members just knelt in silence. And it shows specifically a panel of Tanjiro looking at Giyu, and Tanjiro has tears in his eyes. And then Sanami says, "So what if he'll commit seppuku? If he wants to die, he can rot. It doesn't prove a thing." Then the Flame Hashira says, "Shinazugawa is right. If she kills and eats someone, it's irreversible. The dead won't come back." Then the Master says, "That is correct. I cannot guarantee or confirm that she will not attack people. However, you cannot prove that she will attack people." And then this gets to Shinazugawa. "It is a fact that Nezuko has not bitten anyone for over 2 years, and 3 people have staked their lives on her. If you would reject this, then you must offer something greater than Urokodaki's promise." And this makes Shinazugawa mad, and the Flame Hashira just says, "Ah." Then the Master says, "Furthermore, Tanjiro has crossed paths with Kibutsuji." And then all of the Hashira are surprised by this. "What? No way! Are you saying that no member of the Hashira has ever faced... Are you saying that though no member of the Hashira have ever faced him, this kid has? What did he look like? What abilities did he have? Where is he? Did you fight? What was Kibutsuji doing? Did you find his lair? Hey, answer me!" "Shut up, I asked first." "Start with Kibutsuji's abilities and then it has the Master just putting his fingers to his lips going, shh. And everyone immediately shuts up. Then the Master says, "Kibutsuji has sent his forces after Tanjiro. He may merely wish to silence him, but for the first time, Kibutsuji has shown his tail, and we have grabbed it. I don't want to let go. And it's possible Kibutsuji may have seen something unexpected in Nezuko as well. Do you understand?" And then everyone just looks on in silence, but Shinazugawa, who is biting his lip so much that it's bleeding, just says, "No, Master, I do not understand. Letting a human live is one thing, but not a demon. I cannot agree. There is nothing normal about it." And then he just takes his sword and cuts into his arm. And Tanjiro's all like, "Dude, what?" And Mitsuri is thinking,
Huh? What's he doing? He'll mess up the yard.
"Master, demons are ugly and untrustworthy. I'll prove it to you." "Sanami," says the Master. "Hey, demon, time to eat. Come take a bite." And he leans his bleeding arm over Nezuko's box, as I guess in an attempt to entice her to bite him. And Tanjiro's looking because he knows what Shinazugawa's doing. And that's the end of chapter 46. On to chapter 47. Chapter 47? Huh. That's literally what the name of the chapter is. Huh. HMPH! Exclamation mark. And then we have the snake Hashira saying, "Shinazugawa, that won't work in the light. If you don't go into the shade, the demon won't come out." "My apologies, Master. I serve you." And then there's just a flash as it shows Shinazugawa has just literally flash stepped inside of the house where the Master is sitting because it's in the shade in order to try and provoke Nezuko even more as he points his sword towards Nezuko. But Tanjiro says, "Nezuko, stop it!" And the snake Hashira elbows Tanjiro in the back, knocking the wind out of him. "Can't breathe, can't move." And then it shows Shinazugawa stabbing into the box. "Nezuko! Nezuko! Come out, demon! I got the human blood you crave!" And then he just rips, using his sword, he completely snaps off the covering for Nezuko's box. And Nezuko steps out. She grows because she was such a small size. She grows to her full size now. And she, with glaring eyes, she stares at Shinazugawa. And she's shown to be sweating. And she stares at him as he holds his cut, bleeding arm right in front of her. And Iguro, the snake Hachida's name is Iguro. Iguro, you're pushing him down too hard. Please, ease up a little. But he keeps trying to break free, you know?
Kamado, if you try to use breathing techniques while he's compressing your lungs, you'll rupture blood vessels,
says Shinobu. And then the Flash Yashida says, rupture blood vessels? That sounds cool. Good, do it, rupture them. And then Gomei is just saying,
poor, weak, pitiful child. Namu Amida Butsu.
And then it just shows Tanjiro just struggling to breathe. And it shows Shinazugawa's arm still dripping blood and Nezuko's heart beating as she stands in front of this. And then we hear a name call out, Kamado! And it shows Shinobu as Tanjiro runs out of... No! Tanjiro screams out as he snaps. Because the thing is, this whole time, Tanjiro has been tied up since he's been at the Demon Slayer Corps headquarters. But now, he snaps out of the bindings that's binding him, and he grabs Iguro. No, it's not him. It's not. It wasn't. Tanjiro didn't snap the... Tanjiro, sorry, I'm reading ahead too quickly. Tanjiro didn't snap the rope tying him together. It was actually cut, and then a hand grabs Iguro, and it turns out that it's Giyu. And then Tanjiro, struggling to get up, runs towards where Nezuko is. And then Nezuko notices him. And then we hear a thought going through these panels. People are to be helped and protected. I cannot hurt them. Oh, this is Nezuko thinking this.
People are to be helped and protected. I cannot hurt them.
And I guess Nezuko's thinking of her family when they were alive, and she also thinks of Tanjiro.
I must never hurt them.
And then, with a big old, she turns away from Shinazugawa, and then looks away from him. And Shinazugawa is left speechless, like, what? Then the master says, what happened? And one of the little girls next to him says,
the demon girl turned away. Shinazugawa stabbed her 3 times, then offered his bloody arm for her to feed, but she controlled herself and didn't bite it.
Then the master says, in that case, Nezuko has proven she won't attack people. And this surprises, when the master says this surprises Shinazugawa and Tanjiro. And then Iburo snatches his arm away from Giyu. What are you doing, Tomioka? And Giyu doesn't say anything. Then the master speaks again. Tanjiro, nevertheless, some will still view Nezuko unfavorably. And then immediately Tanjiro kneels before the master. Then the master continues speaking. Proof was needed, and now we have it. So, from now on, Tanjiro and Nezuko will fight for the Demon Slayer Corps together. And then Tanjiro's thinking to himself, what is this feeling? It's dizzying. And the master continues speaking. Defeat one of the 12 Kizuki. If you do, they will accept your words and recognize the value of your presence. Is it his voice making my head feel so light? It's a strange, giddy feeling. I swear, Nezuko and I will defeat Muzan Kibutsuji. We will not fail. I'll use my blade to break the chain of sadness. You're not ready for that yet. For now, defeat one of the 12 Kizuki. And then, after making such a boisterous statement, Tanjiro's all like, okay. And then Mitsuri is looking on and she's saying,
I mustn't laugh. No, 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 no.
and then the master continues speaking. Sorry. Let me just sit up for the rest of you guys. My apologies. It goes without saying that the Hashira and the Demon Slayer Corps are extremely talented. Through laborious training, they have improved themselves, defied death, and defeated members of the 12 Kizuki. That is why people respect and warmly welcome the Hashira. Tanjiro, you must be careful how you speak. Okay. Sanami and Obanai, do not be mean to younger children. And then Iguro says, understood. And then it shows Nezuko huffing and puffing mad as she's like in her box, shrunken down again, right where Shinazugawa is. And Shinazugawa says, as you wish. Ah, we have the name of the master now. Head of the Demon Slayer Corps, Kagaya Ubuyakshi. No, I said that wrong. Kagaya Ubuyashiki. The rhythm of his voice and movements soothes those he addresses. Well, it's nice that I gave him that calm, soothing voice then. I had no idea that that's actually the way he spoke. I just gave him that on purpose. In modern terms, this is called 1-F fluctuation. It's an ability possessed by many people who are charismatic and have the strength of presence to move mass audiences. And then he speaks, and then Kaguya speaks again. That is enough talk on this subject. Tanjiro, you may leave. It is time for the Hashira Council to begin. And that is the end of chapter 47. Ooh, I'm liking this so far. Onwards to chapter 48. We're about halfway done. Chapter 48, Butterfly Mansion. And then we have Shinobu.
Kamado can wait for us in my mansion.
And Shinobu's just grinning. And then Tanjiro's all like, huh?
Okay, take him away.
And then immediately Tanjiro is grabbed by a guard and grabbed by a guard and whisked away from everyone with lightning speed. Excuse me. And then we have Kaguya saying, well, the Hashira Council is. And before he can even finish, Tanjiro interrupts saying, please, wait a second, I'm not done yet. I still owe that guy with all the scars a few more headbutts. One for each time he stabbed Nezuko. Hush, shut up. I doubt headbutts are against core rules. Shut up, let go of that. And then someone picks up a stone and throws it at Tanjiro and knocks him off of the post he was trying to hold on to. He's literally just interrupting this whole council right now. And then we have, it turns out it was Tokito who threw the stone at him. Interrupting the master is considered quite rude, as he holds a stone in his hands and he actually starts to crush the rock in his hands. Sorry, master, sir. Lord Tokito!
Seems like Muichiro is paying attention after all. How cool!
And this is Mitsuru, you know, she's always this way with everyone. Hurry now. Go. Yes, sir! And then we have Kaguya say, Tanjiro, give my regards to Tamayo. Oh, apparently Kaguya knows who Tamayo is. And this shocks Tanjiro as he's whisked away. Hang on, just then, what did he say? What? And before he can say anything else, he's punched in the face by one of the guards saying, you, stop talking! You already got us in trouble! I almost peed my pants! The Hashira are scary. Don't antagonize them. He just said Tamayo's name. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever, ever, never. Apologize. Apologize. That sentence had too many syllables. Apologize. Sorry, I had to channel Torg there just a little bit. Apologize. I'm sorry. And then we're here at the Butterfly Mansion. Excuse us. Pardon the intrusion. Sorry for no one is coming. No one is coming to greet us. But I don't think we should just go in. Maybe we can go around to the garden? Because there's no one to greet them at the Butterfly Mansion. Can't you walk by yourself? Sorry, I'm in pain. My whole body hurts. Whatever, Grandpa. Oh, someone's here. There's someone. Oh, right. It's a Sugoku. It's a Sugoku. It's a Suguko. Suguko. And then Suguko. See, these names will mess me up, but I want to try and make sure I get these pronunciations right for you. What's a Suguko? She's a Suguko. Her name is Kanao Suyuri. Kanao Suyuri. All right. So we have the name of the girl that tried to take on Nezuko with the sideways ponytail and the butterfly hairpin. A Suguko is a core fighter who's been trained by a Hashira. Only the most talented and highly skilled fighters get selected. And she's a girl. Impressive, huh? I saw her at final selection. He didn't notice that she stepped on him last night. We come on orders from Lady Kocho. May we enter the mansion? And then it shows her, she's just smiling as she's looking at all the butterflies floating around. May we? Is it all right?
Who the heck are you?
Lady Kojo said,
Are you Kakshi? He's injured, huh? Come this way.
and then another girl pops up with pigtails, screaming at him and motioning them for the follow. And she starts walking away really fast from them. She's fast. She's fast. And then he can only look back at Kanao as she's surrounded by butterflies. And then we have someone screaming, it's Zenitsu. I have to drink this 5 times a day and keep that up for 3 months? I'll be too full to eat. It's super bitter and thick. Just taking medicine will heal my arms and legs, really? And then one of the girls that are there taking care of him, because, he's in a medical room, yet he's being loud. She says, please, be quiet. I want answers. What happens if I miss a dose? Tell me. And then we have the girl with the pigtails coming in saying,
Is that guy still fussing?
and then Tanjiro's there. He says, Zenitsu. Then the pigtail girl says,
Will you pipe down? We explained it over and over. If you don't behave, we'll tie you down.
and this scares Zenitsu, and he starts hiding under his covers. Finally, someone got him to shut up, because boy, will this man gets on my nerves with all the incessant screaming over and over and over again. It reminds me of how I first felt when I saw Asta in Black Clover, and I just heard his voice. It was all like, this dude is loud. Zenitsu! And then Zenitsu gets scared from his name being called. Are you hurt? Are you all right? Did you come up the mountain to help? This is Tanjiro speaking to Zenitsu, of course. Tanjiro? Tanjiro, listen, you won't believe it. A sticky spider stabbed me and the poison really hurt, but that girl getting angry at me is even worse. And then that same girl glares at him. What about Inosuke? Have you seen Murata? Let go, this doesn't involve... And then the thing is, Zenitsu is holding on to the Kakshi, who's holding Tanjiro, and he's all, let go, this doesn't involve me. I don't know who Murata is, but Inosuke is right there. And it has Inosuke laying in a bed in a big old onesie looking. He has a puffy shirt on, but his boar head is still on his head. And while Zenitsu is saying this, he's got snot dripping out of his, I want to say either his mouth or his nose, and it's getting on one of the Kakshi guards' uniforms, which makes him angry. Hey, you're right. He's been here all along. I didn't notice. Inosuke, I'm glad you're all right. Sorry I couldn't help you. And Inosuke doesn't say anything. Until he says, that's okay. Don't worry about it. And Tanjiro's thinking he's usually loud. Then he says, his voice. Is that Inosuke? Then Zenitsu says, apparently his voice got crushed. what? And there's still a massive amount of snot just hanging on to Zenitsu's nose and the guard's nose, and it still extends as the guard tries to get away from him. The guard is all like, "This is nasty! Nasty!" I don't know the details, but his neck was severely injured. At the end, he let out a loud cry, so his throat is in really bad shape. He hurt himself? And the guard is saying, "Tissues! Tissues!" And then Zenitsu is saying, "I think he's depressed. He's totally mellow, which is really funny." Why are you laughing like a weirdo? What happened? And it shows that the guard keeps stepping away further from Zenitsu, but the nose drippings is still sticking to his uniform, just extending out like a mozzarella stick. Then we have a panel which lists all the injuries that everyone suffered over the past night. Tanjiro, multiple cuts and abrasions on face, arms, and legs, sprains all over his body, plus pulled muscles and contusions on his lower jaw. Zenitsu, poisoned by demon spider venom, numbness in right arm and leg, trembling in left arm, cowardice in entire body. It doesn't actually say that last part, I just added that on. Inosuke, crushing trauma to larynx and vocal cords. And Nezuko, with the least amount of injuries, lack of sleep. The four were able to rest and recover in Butterfly Mansion. Nezuko slept a lot, and they put that in bold. Tanjiro suffered through great pain. Zenitsu fussed more than everyone else combined, unsurprising. Have I had my lunchtime medicine? Did anyone see me take it? Inosuke was extremely depressed. Sorry for being so weak. But the other two encouraged him. Hang in there, Inosuke. You were awesome. Each day, the same thing. You're great. Until a visitor came. Oh. Hi. Murata! And he suffered jammed fingers. Murata was invited to the Hashira meeting to give a detailed report on the events at Mount Natagumo. It was hellish. Those Hashira are scary. They were all angry. They said core fighters these days are dropping in quality. It seems some of those sent to Mount Natagumo didn't obey orders, so they asked me who their trainers were. All he did was complain. When Shinobu arrived, Murata left immediately. Gotta go, see ya. Hello. How are you all feeling? Thank you for asking. I'm feeling a lot better. And then Inosuke is just thinking to himself, I gotta pee. And then Shinobu says, then it's about time to start rehabilitation training. Rehabilitation? Something was about to start. And that is the end of chapter 48, onwards to chapter 49. I'm sorry if it doesn't seem as concise as my last Demon Slayer read-through. It's just that so many names have popped up in here that it really has just kind of scrambled my brain this morning. So apologies for that. Chapter 49, Rehabilitation Training Part 1. Ooh, I like parts. My arms and legs are still really short because I almost became a spider. I'm recovering by taking lots of medicine and getting lots of sunlight. And this is Zenitsu thinking all this. They say I'll be good as new, but I hear that people who transform completely may suffer after effects even when they're human again. The sounds that Shinobu makes are unique. I've never heard anything like them before, but they're weird, so they're kind of scary. But she was like a goddess when she healed the people who became spiders. They all came to her in tears. And she's really attractive. Her face is so beautiful. Every day that gorgeous lady took Tanjiro and Inosuke for rehabilitation training to help their bodies regain strength, but they always came back looking like this. Looking like they're completely worn out, sunken cheekbones, and looking like they're actually missing mass in their bodies. What happened? What's wrong, huh? And then Tanjiro doesn't say anything and he just says, sorry. Tell me I haven't been healthy enough, but tomorrow I start training too. The next day, Zenitsu still holding on to Tanjiro saying, I'm scared. And then we get to a place called the training room. And then we have the girl with the pigtails saying, Today's
Today Zenitsu starts his training, so I'll explain it all again. First, over there, you will lie down and these girls will loosen up your stiff muscles. Then, reflex training.
Which has a Kanao over there.
Each of these cups contain medicinal tea that can be applied topically. You will compete to see who has to take the medicine. If your opponent holds down your cup before you can raise it, then you have to drink. Finally, full body training. Simply put, we play tag. Your opponents are me and Kanao over there.
So, mind you, I already know that they have voice actors. I haven't heard these voice actors because I kind of want to look forward to what they actually sound like when I actually watch the Demon Slayer anime itself. And I am going to binge watch it when I do. But I want to get through the manga first and then see how it's animated after. I want to see how it's animated after. That's the game plan. So apologies if my voices for some of the girls in this manga are not ideal.
Finally, full body training. Simply put, we play tag. Your opponents are me and Kanao over there.
And then Inosuke and Tanjiro just slump their heads down. And Zenitsu's staring blank-eyed like, "Excuse me, may we have a moment?"
Do you have a question?
"No, it's just, come on, you two." "Huh?" And then Tanjiro's all like, "What?" And Inosuke's all, "Nope."
I'm telling you to just come with me!
And then I think I know what's going on here. He sees that Tanjiro and Inosuke are interacting with all these girls, and he's been stuck in bed this whole time because he has this really mad look on his face. Reminds me of when he found out that he was traveling with Nezuko, so I get that vibe. He says, "Come on! You scum, you trash! Sit down and listen up, you idiot jerks! What'd you call me?" And Inosuke actually pumps up. Inosuke actually gets pumped up. And then Inosuke just punches him in the face. "Zenitsu, what did you do that for? Tell Inosuke you're sorry." "You say you're sorry! You guys should apologize! Why did you come back every day acting like you've been through hell when you were actually in heaven? You were having a jolly time playing games with girls, but every day you came back looking wrecked! Bow down deeply and apologize! Offer to commit seppuku!" I knew it. He's getting mad upset that they were around girls all day, but he does not know to the extent of why they came back so haggard. "You have no idea what you're talking about." "Shut up, you straight-laced, sweet-talking stick in the mud! Shut up and listen, you got that? We get to touch the girls. They're gonna massage our bodies. When we play with the cups, our hands will touch. When we play tag, we can grab them. We each have nice chest. They each have... Wait, bruh, slow down. They each have nice chests, great butts, and strong thighs. When they pass by, they smell good. It's a joy just to look at them. Joy! Woo, joy!" This man has lost his mind. And then Inosuke says, "Stop talking nonsense. Losing to those tiny girls is embarrassing." "Oh, cry me a river. You grew up in the mountains anyway. I bet you haven't spent any time with girls before, so you never learned. Oh, how sad." And this gets Inosuke mad upset. "What? I've stepped on plenty of girls. That's awful." Then we have more narration. For better or worse, Zenitsu's participation raised the stakes. They both got extremely focused. But not me. And this is Tanjiro speaking. "I think it's bad to train with such impure motivations." During rubdowns, Zenitsu laughed continually despite intense pain. That wasn't normal. No, that is what we call a masochist, I think? At least he's a masochist when it's the girls inflicting pain. "Well, I'll say this. He meant every word. That hurt so bad I cried, but he's laughing." And this is Inosuke thinking to himself. And in the reflex training game, he beat Aoi every single time. "Don't worry. I'd never throw a girl in a drink's face." And he tried to look cool, but He spoke too loudly so everyone overheard. The girls had a flinty look in their eyes. He also won during the full-body tag training, but woohoo! He didn't get to enjoy it.
I won the game, but lost the fight.
So grabbing onto her immediately got him punched in the face. Either punched or slapped. Meanwhile, Inosuke hated to lose. And he wins the game with Aoi. And throws a drink at her face. And then he gets her in tag and holds her up by her feet. And then Tanjiro is thinking to himself, I'm the only one who keeps losing. I'm so embarrassed. But that was all that went smoothly for Zenitsu and Inosuke.
Please watch your hands.
As he says, as Zenitsu grabs a girl around the waist, she's telling him to watch his hands. Then we get to Kanao. Kanao was unbeatable. No one could hold down her cup or drench her. And then we have Inosuke saying, even with Monitsu here, we finished each day soaked. Then Zenitsu says, maybe I should just change my name to Monitsu. Because, Inosuke is bad with names, so he calls Zenitsu Monitsu. We joined the Corps the same time as her, so why is she so much better? If you think I know, you're dumber than me. We lost to Kanao for 5 days straight. Inosuke and Zenitsu never touched a single hair on Kanao's head. Inosuke absolutely hated losing, so he took it really hard. And it shows Tanjiro consoling Inosuke. Zenitsu just accepted his fate. I did good. For me, can I go now? They both stopped coming to the training room. Sorry, says Tanjiro.
Just you? I can't believe those two,
says Aoi. Maybe they'll come tomorrow. Maybe.
No, there's no need to bother with them any longer. If you don't want to come, then you don't have to either.
And then, gloomily, Tanjiro just walks away. I'll work hard for all of us. Then I'll teach them how to win. I won't give up. Good work today. I lost for 10 more days. Why can't I beat her? What are the differences between us? Tanjiro thinks to himself. First of all, the speed of our reflexes is completely different. On my best day, I'd probably still lose. She even smells different. Her scent is closer to that of the Hashira.
Tanjiro.
And her eyes. I think her eyes are different.
Tanjiro.
And then it turns out that the 3 little girls that were there helping them train walk up to Tanjiro and start speaking to him. Well, you surprised me.
Sorry.
What is it? And they both fumble around, and then they hand him something.
Here's a towel.
Oh, thank you. How kind. And then the little girls just smile at him with a bright look around them.
Tanjiro, do you do total concentration breathing 24 hours a day?
And then he's smiling, but with a blank look like, huh?
Morning, noon, and night? Do you do total concentration breathing when you sleep?
No, I don't. Even while sleeping? Is that even possible?
Yes, being able to do that makes a world of difference.
It's pretty hard using total concentration breathing even just a little. So all day would be...
Some people are able to do it. All the Hashira and Kanao. You should try.
Great idea. I'm going to give it a try. Thank you. And that is the end of chapter 49. Onwards to chapter 50. Only 2 more chapters after this, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost done. And this is kind of slightly longer because I was fumbling around with certain things, but still going well. Chapter 50, Rehabilitation Training Part 2. I don't know why I had so much trouble saying that word the first time, because I've seen the word rehabilitation before so many times, and I've said it. I don't know why I fumbled it the first time. There's no way I can do it. I just can't. When I try to do total concentration breathing for a long time, I feel like I'm gonna die. It's too hard. My lungs hurt. My head hurts. My eardrums pound. And then there's thumping going inside of his ears, and he slaps his hands on both of his ears, and he looks at both of his hands, and he's huffing and puffing. He's massively tired right now. That was terrifying. For a second, I thought my heart was gonna come out of my ears. I can't do anything in this condition. When you're in trouble, go back to the beginning. Breathing begins with the lungs. If my lungs are bad, I can't do anything. I'll get up earlier and run. I'll practice holding my breath. I'll give it my all. That's all I've ever been able to do. Try my best. Hard work builds day by day. Little by little is fine. Just keep moving forward. And then he just screams out in preparation. Ah! I know I wouldn't do that. Just like, ah! I wouldn't do that. I would just scream out real loud and flex a little bit. Then we have the three little girls who told him about 24-hour total concentration breathing, saying,
Tanjiro works hard every day. Yep. Let's bring him some rice balls. Yeah. And gourds.
And then he brings some gourds to him. Blow into the gourds?
Yes, when Shinobu was training Kanao, she often made her blow into gourds.
Oh, that's interesting. Does it make a sound?
No, you're supposed to burst the gourd.
Oh. Burst? Huh? Me? Burst this? A dried gourd?
Uh-huh. And these are special gourds, even harder than normal ones.
That skinny girl burst one of these?
And as the training went on, the gourds got bigger. Right now, Kanao is working on this gourd.
And they bring out a gourd that is literally half their size. That's big! I gotta try. 15 days later. And it shows Tanjiro sitting on top of a building, concentrating. Good. My strength is coming back. I can run more than before. My lungs have gotten stronger, so this is good. No need to rush. During the day, I run around working out my lungs with fast movements. Now it's time for me to breathe slowly and deeply. Circulate air all the way to my fingertips. Meditation improves concentration. Urokodaki said that. Urokodaki. Uro. I can't believe you broke my sword! And then he's thinking back because remember, when he was facing off against Rui of the 12 Kizuki, his sword was broken. Sorry. Urokodaki must be really angry right now. Really angry. Right now, I'm having it reforged, but I'm really sorry. I fought one of the 12 Kizuki, but didn't get any of its blood. Even that cat looks at me disapprovingly. Because Tamayo's special familiar is there behind a tree just looking at him. Concentrate. Concentrate. Concentrate on your breathing.
Hello? Hello? Hello there.
Huh?
You're really dedicated.
And it's Shinobu, and she's right there on him.
Your two friends ran off somewhere. Aren't you lonely by yourself?
And then Tanjiro says, nope. Once I can do it, I'll teach them how.
You have a pure heart.
And then they don't say anything. And then they both don't. Then there's a period of silence between them. And then Tanjiro's all, why did you bring us here?
Because we learned the truth about Nezuko, and your injuries were horrible. Also, I thought I could entrust you with my dream.
Dream?
Yes, my dream of getting along with demons. I'm sure you can achieve that.
And then he looks on, pop-ups from people playing Outriders. Are you angry? And he looks at Shinobu and this wipes a smile from her face. Because she was smiling this whole time. Even though you're always smiling, you always smell sort of angry. And then she says,
well, I guess you could say I'm angry. Ever since a demon murdered my beloved elder sister, whenever I see a demon or people whose loved ones have been stolen by demons, the anger in me grows deeper and stronger. Deep inside my body, there's hatred that I cannot quiet. It's the same for the other Hashira. Now that they've seen Nezuko, who hasn't eaten any people and sensed her true nature, I don't think any of them will harm her. Also, because it's the Master's will. Anyway, my sister was a kind person like you. She felt sympathy for demons.
Even as she died, she pitied the demons. I couldn't think like her. Pity someone who kills people? That's ridiculous. But if that was my sister's wish, then I must try to carry it out. If there's a way to avoid killing pitiful demons, I must try to find it, without losing my sunny disposition, which my sister always liked. But it really tires me out. Demons always lie to save themselves. Without reason, just on instinct, they kill people. Keep up your fight, Tanjiro. Please, keep defending Nezuko. When I think that you're succeeding at my sister's dream, it soothes my anger, and I feel better inside.
And then she just flash steps away from him. I'll do my best. Naho, Kyo, Sumi! I want you to help me train. While I'm asleep, if I stop doing total concentration breathing, hit my covers with these blanket beaters. And then we get the name of the little girls who are helping him out. Naho with the plaited hair braids, Kyo with the straight hair backwards, and then Sumi with the small pigtails.
You got it.
Thank you. And then we we have Tanjiro sleep soundly in his bed. And then then Sumi, Kyo, and Naho immediately start beating his bed with the beater. I'm sorry. That's just funny because that would be something I would do. That would be something I would do. I would happily be the bed beater. I'm sorry, I can't look at that panel. I'm gonna keep laughing. But they immediately start beating him in his bed. I gotta stop. Then Tanjiro says, "One more time, please, please." 10 days later, I gotta get that image out of my head. I gotta get it out of my head. 10 days later, Tanjiro breathes in and blows into the gourd, and all three of them, Sumi, Kyo, and Naho, say, "You can do it!" And he blows into the gourd, and with his breathing and training, he makes the gourd explode. I feel like Tanjiro and Naruto will get along just fine due to the hard nature of their training. I did it! I broke the gourd! Yes, I did it! Then it cuts to Tanjiro racing and trying to tag Kanao, and she's constantly dodging him everywhere. I'm catching up. I'm actually gaining on her. I'm keeping up. I still can't do total concentration breathing all day, but the longer I'm able to keep it up, the more my physical fitness improves. My body has changed. I want to swing a sword soon. With this hand, a Nichiren sword. And then with the hand he's thinking about, he immediately grabs Kanao. After all this time, he grabs her. And this surprises Kanao. And then he jumps up in the air. Hooray! And then it cuts to reflex training as he's going up against Kanao, and he's constantly trying to grab the cup and splash it in her face. And they're going back and forth. And she keeps grabbing it every time she tries to grab it, he grabs it. And every time tries to grab it, she grabs it and stops him.
This is a good fight. You can do it.
Don't lose focus. You can do this. And then, as Kanao tries to grab the cup he's going for, he grabs it away from her reach. I got past her. Do it. This medicinal tea stinks. I'd feel bad if I dumped it on her. And then he just places the tea on her head. And then Kanao's all like, huh? Even though she doesn't say anything.
He won! But did he? It's setting it on her counts.
And then both the three girls and Tanjiro are all jumping around. Hip hip hooray! And then it all stops because Zenitsu and Inosuke are looking at him. Uh-oh. And that's the end of chapter that's the end of chapter 50 onwards to chapter 51. Chapter 51, the Nichiren sword returns. I'm no good at working hard, and Inosuke can't bear to do anything slowly. Maybe because Tanjiro was so far beyond us now, even when he taught us carefully, we didn't get any better. Go like this, and like this, then like this. We realized we were total losers. And this is Zenitsu speaking. Then we have Shinobu.
The technique Tanjiro mastered is called total concentration constant. By doing total concentration breathing every minute of the day, physical fitness drastically improves. It's a basic move, a beginner's technique, so of course he could do it. But mastering it requires incredible effort. Anyway, of course you can do it, but if you can't, then that's that. It'd be a shame, though.
And then Inosuke gets worked up saying, huh? If it's possible, then of course I'll do it. Don't talk down to me, I'll mess you up. Inosuke is really worked up.
Good luck, Zenitsu. I'm cheering for you most of all.
And she grabs Zenitsu's hand, and you know how Zenitsu gets when he's around girls. I'll do it! And now, so is Zenitsu. 9 days later, Zenitsu and Inosuke had mastered total concentration constant. I did it! She cheered for me most of all!
Shinobu was skilled at teaching.
And Tanjiro was truly awful at teaching people. Inosuke, Zenitsu, I heard that my reforged Nichiren sword arrives today. Really? Yeah, a crow just told me. And it shows Inosuke balancing himself on a broomstick doing handstands. Hurry, hurry! Yes!
Mr. Haganezuka! Hey! Hey, hey! Mr. Haganezuka!
And then it shows him walking towards Tanjiro. It's been so long, have you been... Well, but then I guess Mr. Haganezuka is running at Tanjiro full speed with a knife in his hands. Clutched with it ready, prepared to stab Tanjiro. Ah! Why? I can't believe you broke my sword. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry, but really, I was about to die. My opponent was super strong. I don't care. That doesn't matter. It's your fault. It's all your fault. The katana broke because you were weak. Otherwise, would my katana break? I'm going to kill you. I love this manga. Ow, I bit my tongue, but I love this manga. And Haganezuka is just in tears with a little card saying that he's 37 years old, being mad and upset at this. He chased me around for an hour. Then we have another person with another Neo mask on his face. Well, Haganezuka is a passionate artisan. His love for katanas is twice as strong as anyone else's. Oh, I'm Kanamori. I forge new swords for you, Lord Inosuke. If they serve you well in battle, I'll be happy. And then Inosuke gets brand new swords. Ones that aren't massively chipped. Ah, they're pretty. Ah, they're so pretty. The blue-gray has a faint shine, an elegant color that befits a katana. Good, Inosuke's blades were terribly chipped. And even while this is going on, Haganezuka is still punching on Tanjiro. Dude doesn't know how to let go of a grudge. Ow, ow, ow. And as he's getting punched, Tanjiro's all like, ow, ow, ow. Getting punched by Haganezuka. How do they feel in your hands? It's my first time making katanas for a two-handed fighter. Then Inosuke goes outside and picks up some rocks. And Kanamori is looking like, Lord Inosuke? And he squats down with a rock in his hands and immediately starts beating on his sword to give it the jagged look that he's so used to. That's better. I'm gonna kill you, you thankless brat! He's sorry, he's really sorry! And then we have Zenitsu just chilling by himself. So apparently Kanamori shares just as much passion as Haganezuka when it comes to swords. And running was so exhausting. And during our breath holding training, Inosuke moved like an octopus underwater, so I accidentally let out my air. I'm almost done. But I like being able to do more than I could before. Tanjiro encouraged me the whole time. He's a good brother, Nezuko. And then it has Nezuko rustling inside of her box. And then Zenitsu says, "Oh, right, tonight I'll take you to where this flower was blooming." And then, as both Haganezuka and Kanamori walk away mad and upset, while Inosuke stands there and Tanjiro bows, it cuts to the nighttime, and apparently someone is strumming on something. And we are now in a massive building that, what do you call that art where it has stairs leading to nowhere and stairs leading off the side of onto the floor and then upside down, and then everything's topsy-turvy. I forget exactly what that painting is called, but someone is standing in this. But apparently we have a demon here. What is this place? And then someone is strumming on either a shamisen or a biwa. And it's a female demon, apparently. Is that her blood demon art? Space seems to warp with her at the center. And then it shows numerous demons walking around in this whole building. Lower 1, lower 2, lower 3, and lower 4. Oh! Yo! These are the 12 Kizuki! Only the lower ranks of the 12 Kizuki are gathered. This is the first time. Lower 5 still hasn't come. And then there's a strum that happens, and then we see the lower of the 12. And then a woman is standing in front of him. We moved. The blood demon art again. Who is this woman? What is she? Lower your heads and bow. And they all immediately lower their heads. It's Lord Muzan. That's Lord Muzan's voice. Oh, wait, so that's his voice. Lower your heads and bow. And they immediately bow. It's Lord Muzan. That's Lord Muzan's voice. I didn't know his appearance and aura are completely than before. It's an incredible disguise. My lord, my apologies. Your appearance and aura are different, so... Who said you could speak? And he immediately shuts up. Worms, you may not speak on your own. Only answer my questions. Rui was killed. He was lower 5. Oh, that's the one that they're missing. I want to ask only one thing. Why are you members of the lower ranks so weak? Joining the 12 Kizuki is not the end, merely the beginning. You must eat more people, get stronger, and become more useful to me. For more than a century, the members of the upper ranks of the 12 Kizuki have not changed. The ones who put the demon slayer Hashira in their graves are always in the upper ranks. But what about the lower ranks? How many times have those members changed? And then one of them is thinking, what are we supposed to say to that? What are we supposed to say to that? You can answer my question. And the one who was thinking that, Muzan could tell what he was thinking, but the one who was thinking this immediately cringes. He could read our thoughts? Uh-oh. What has you so worried? Tell me. And Muzan's face, even though he has the appearance of a woman, he is filled with rage and veins going across his face right now. That's the end of chapter 51. Onwards to the last chapter of volume 6. Chapter 52. Chapter 52, Cruel and Heartless. Oh, we get more lore on the 12 Kizuki and everyone else. The 12 Kizuki are divided into upper ranks and lower ranks. In order, upper ranks are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lower rank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The strongest is upper 1. The weakest is lower 6. Demons in the lower ranks only have a number engraved on one eye. The demons in the upper ranks disdain them. Muzan Kibutsuchi can read the thoughts of those to whom he has given his blood. If he can see them, he can read their minds. The farther away they are, the less clearly he can read them, but he can always discern their location. He knows where they are, which means when Nezuko was taken to Yashki's mansion, it was a terrible thing for the Demon Slayer Corps. Because the moment that Nezuko arrived, Kibutsuji knew where Ubuyashiki's headquarters was. To this point, however, Kibutsuji has not grasped that. Tamayo and Nezuko's efforts have removed Kibutsuji's curse, and Kibutsuji still doesn't know it.
Forgive me! Please! Lord Kibutsuji, please have mercy!
And it shows that one of the lower ranks is constricted by this massive growth arm that's coming out of Kibutsuji. It has multiple veins, multiple arms, and multiple eyes in it.
I'm sorry! Forgive me!
But then the arm opens up into like a mouth and as he says, I'm sorry, and before he can even do that, he immediately starts to be eaten by this fleshy amalgamation. And you just see the crunch and the munching sound effects as blood drips on the other lower ranks as he's literally eaten alive.
Why is this happening? Is he going to kill me after I made it into the Quell Kizuki? Why? Why? I wanted to do more!
Then Kibutsuji says, are you more afraid of the Demon Slayers than me? Then one of them flinches.
No!
Every time you encounter one of the Demon Slayer Hashira, you want to flee.
No, I don't! I risk my life for you!
And then Kibutsuji doesn't say anything, and then he says, are you contradicting what I say? And then this demon immediately gets slammed into the ground and splattered, and eaten as well.
Oh no. This is the end. He'll read my thoughts, and whether I agree or disagree, he'll kill me. There's no way to fight and win.
My only chance is to run, and one of them just flat out books it.
The fool.
I have to get away somehow. Somehow!
And before we even see what happens to him, we see Muzan standing before the last two remainings of the lower rank with the head of the one who ran away. We literally just see him standing there with the head of it. I've begun to think the upper ranks of the 12 Kizuki are all that is needed. I will dismantle the lower ranks. And then the demon whose head was snatched off when he tried to run away, he's still alive. He's still alive.
I failed? Was it that Biwa player's power? No, I didn't hear any music. Why can't I regenerate?
Then Muzan just says, do you have any final words? And then one of them stands up and says, I can still be of use. If I could just have a little more grace, I'm sure I could. Exactly how much grace? And how will you be of use? What can you do at your current strength?
Blood. If you could give me a little more blood, I won't fail to make good use of it. I'd be a stronger demon and fight.
And then Muzan just tosses the head of the one demon that tried to run away from him in front of the two remaining lower ranks. Why should I reward your failure with my precious blood? How very impudent. Know your place.
No, you're wrong. I...
Silence. I am never wrong. I cannot make mistakes. All authority is mine, and what I say is absolute. You have no right to object. What I say is right, is right. You contradicted me, and that warrants death. And then it just shows the last remaining. It shows the last remaining of the lower ranks surrounded by the blood of the former lower ranks that were there with him. They all got killed. All of them were killed by Kibutsuji. Do you have any last words?
This one's gonna die too. It all goes as Lord Kibutsuji wishes. I'm dying.
And then this one who has literally been just enjoying this whole thing with a strange smile on their face, says,
Yes, I am in a dream because I will die by your own hand. I adored hearing the other demons' death cries. They thrilled me. I revel in the misery and suffering of others. I relive it in my dreams each night. Thank you for leaving me for last.
and then there's a puncture into his neck from, I'm guessing, Kibutsuji. Like a needle just jabs him into his neck, and then it just goes into him, and then he starts screaming. Then Kibutsuji says,
I like you. I will give you my blood in abundance. You may yet die because you cannot take the volumes of this transfusion, but if you accommodate it, you will gain much greater strength. Then you must make yourself useful to me and kill a Hashira of the Demon Slayers. If you also kill the Demon Slayer with earrings that look like Hanafuda cards, I will give you more blood. Then the shamisen slash biwa player, I don't know which one this is, strums a tune, and then a door opens up for Muzan to exit out. Then the room rotates and shifts around and opens up a door that causes this one demon to fall outside. The one that remained alive. What's that? What's that? I see something. It's flowing into me with Lord Muzan's blood.
And he sees Tanjiro.
If I kill a Hashira and this boy, I'll get more blood. What ecstasy!
And thus ends Volume 5. Did I incorrectly call this Volume 6? This is Volume 6. All these chapters are in Volume 6, so I guess they just labeled it wrong. But that has been my reading of Volume 6, chapters 44 through 52 of Demon Slayer. And I cannot wait to see what happens next, because boy, are things really getting interesting. Sorry for laughing so much at the bed beating thing. That just tickled me really bad. But with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video as we continue to read Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. So have a fantastic day. And, well, actually, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.